Kuloso, naman trabaho yan.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So let's continue, no? So again, so yung discussion natin. Okay. Okay. So again, so this time, diba? So pupunta na tayo dun sa ilang applications, diba? So of differential calculus, no? Okay. So again, so isa sa mga main application of the differential calculus, or actually ito yung definition, diba? Or yung pinakagamit so nung derivatives natin. So that's the slope of a tangent line. Okay? So kasi kaya nga nasabi ko sa inyo kanina, 'di ba? So yung dy dx natin is basically the limit of delta y over delta x, or the limit of the slope, 'di ba? So kasi yung delta y over delta x, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is the equation of the slope, 'di ba? So kaya basically siya yung range, siya yung limit, 'di ba? So or yung ina-approach, 'di ba? So nung ano natin, so ng slope natin, 'di ba? So as we make the range, 'di ba? So or yung interval natin smaller and smaller, 'di ba? So you can imagine, for example, we have this curve, 'di ba? Tapos gusto natin makuha yung slope ng tangent line dito. So this is our tangent line, 'di ba? So basically the idea so is to start, for example, consider a point here. So ito yung magiging parang h natin. So this is h, okay? So then we create this line. Okay? So we connect them, 'di ba? So i-connect natin siya dun sa point. So basically we create this line, 'di ba? So then we can calculate yung slope nito so as delta y over delta x, 'di ba? And you can imagine na habang pinapaliit natin yung h, 'di ba? Papalapit ng papalapit to dito sa original point natin, 'di ba? So then itong line natin, okay, so pa-approach yan dun sa actual tangent line natin, 'di ba? So kaya basically pag sinabing slope ng tangent line, 'di ba? So the slope of the tangent line, okay? Ang ibig sabihin nito, kukunin niyo lang yung dy dx, 'di ba? So pero ingat na kayo pagdating sa part na to. So baka kasi mabaliktad yung maging dx dy, hindi na siya slope ng tangent line, no? Okay, so again, basta slope ng tangent line, so then kukunin niyo lang yung dy dx, no? Okay? So yun yung tatandaan niyo dito. Okay? Pag normal line naman yung kinukuha niyo, pag sinabi nating normal line, perpendicular siya doon sa tangent line. Kasi dapat dumadaan siya doon sa center of curvature natin. Okay? So kaya basically, so ito yung normal line, diba? Perpendicular siya doon sa tangent line natin. And again, alam naman natin na yung product, diba? So ng slope ng tangent line, saka ng slope ng normal line, so is negative reciprocal of each other. Kaya pag slope ng normal line yung hinahanap, kunin nyo lang yung negative reciprocal. Diba? Kunin nyo lang yung negative reciprocal, diba? So ng slope ng tangent line. Or in other words, the negative reciprocal of the derivative of y with respect to x. Okay? So yun tatandaan nyo pagdating sa slope ng tangent line. Okay? So let's try some examples. Okay? So problem 10. Okay, so find the slope of r is equal to 1 over theta when theta is equal to pi. Diba? So dito, ang problema natin is, ang binigay sa atin is a polar curve. No? Pag sinabi natin polar curve, diba? So then we have something like r is equal to a function of theta. So ito yung variables natin dyan, r and theta. Diba? So if you're familiar with that, diba? So basically, kung ito yung Cartesian plane natin, so remember na yung point natin is usually defined as xy, so in the rectangular coordinate system. And again, so ang ibig sabihin niyan is this is our x coordinate and this is our y coordinate, no? Pero pagdating sa polar coordinate system, diba? So we are using this distance natin from the origin. That is what we call r, diba? So then we have the angle theta with respect to the positive x-axis. Okay? Okay ba? So yan yung ginagamit nating coordinates for the polar coordinate system. Diba? So again, so yan yung r theta natin. Okay? Okay ba? Okay, so kaya dito, so ito yung ginamit natin dyan, polar curve. Diba? So pero makikita naman natin so from the figure. So if we consider this right triangle here, so remember that this is the y coordinate, this is the x coordinate. So pwede natin gamitan ng SOHCAHTOA. Diba? So you can get that x so is simply equal to, so we have r cosine theta. Diba? So therefore, solving for dx, okay? Okay ba? So for example, gawin natin tong sige, dx na lang. No? So again, if we are solving for dx, so basically this is just the differentials. No? So kaya dito gagamit tayo ng product rule kasi naka-multiply itong dalawa. So we have r. Derivative ng cosine theta is negative sine. So this is negative sine theta. So pero since the variable here is theta, so kailangan naka-multiply dito ng d theta. So kasi yun yung derivative natin. Function siya ni theta. Diba? So then plus cosine theta. So then we have the derivative of r. So kaya that is dr. Diba? Okay? So therefore, so sulat ko na lang to as cosine theta dr. So then minus r sine theta d theta. So again, so this is the value of dx. No? And yung y naman natin, so from the figure is by SOHCAHTOA, r sine theta. Diba? So kaya pag kinuha ko naman yung dy this time, so that is r. Derivative ng sine is cosine. The variable is theta, so kaya d theta ulit. Diba? So then plus, so sine theta multiplied by r. So again, ang r naman natin, derivative ay dr. Diba? Okay? So kaya yan yung magiging dy naman natin this time. So we can write this as sine theta dr. So then plus r cosine theta d theta. So again, so ito yung dy natin. Okay? So therefore, solving for dy over dx. Okay? So this will be equal to, okay? So we have sine theta. So then this is dr plus r cosine theta d theta. So then this is divided by, so we have dx naman, cosine theta dr minus, okay, so we have r sine theta d theta. Okay, so remember, ito yung ating slope. Diba? Okay? So now, let's factor out d theta. Okay? Pag finactor out natin yung d theta, since wala kang d theta dito sa part na to, pag finactor out natin tong d theta, since wala kang d theta dito sa part na to, diba? So ibig sabihin, mapupunta siya sa denominator. Diba? So kaya magkakaroon ka ng dr over d theta. Okay? So therefore, okay? So i-let natin, for example, so let natin yung r prime, diba? So to be equal to dr d theta. So kaya mangyayari dito, magigitong sine theta. So then dr d theta. Diba? So then plus r cosine theta. So this is r cosine theta. So then this quantity naka-multiply sa d theta. Diba? Okay? So kaya nagkaroon ng d theta dito sa ilalim. Okay? So then dito naman, so we have cosine theta. So then this is dr d theta. So then this is plus or minus. Okay? So this is r sine theta. So then naka-multiply din to sa d theta. So kaya makikita natin magka-cancel
Recording
yung
stopped.
d theta dito. No? Okay. So hintayin lang natin si sir na disconnect ata.
Recording in progress.
Hello, Raymond.
Sir?
Nadadamay ka ba pag nadidiscuss?
Na-stop lang sir yung recording.
Ay, na-stop yung recording.
Bali, ni-record ko na rin lang sir sa cloud.
Paano kaya kung ikaw na rin ang mas malakas yata ang signal mo dyan?
I-record ko na lang sir sa cloud. I-download yun na lang sir kagad kasi may limit kasi yung cloud.
Kung mo na lang, ano mo sa cloud.
Sir. Bali, mapupunta siya sir doon sa recording sa account niyo sa Zoom.
Account ko.
Sir.
Ay, yung account ng host.
Yung account sir nung nag-start ng meeting.
Sige.
Bali, mamayang tanghali sir, i-download nyo na lang kaagad tapos i-delete nyo kaagad yung recording. Kasi may limit kasi yung recording sa cloud.
Sige.
Sige sir. Okay. Okay. So again, so yan yung ano natin. Lalabas na parang direct formula. Okay, nakuha ba? So para dun sa slope natin. So therefore we can write it since drd theta is just r prime, no? So again, basically kailangan lang natin kunin yung drd theta. So if you are given the value of r. So we have r prime sine theta. So then this is plus r cosine theta. So then this is divided by, so we have r prime cosine theta. So then this is minus r sine theta. So then this is our slope m. Okay, nakuha ba? So again, so yun yung lalabas. Diba? So na slope natin. Okay, so again, so for polar curves. So you can just memorize this equation. Diba? So kung gusto nyo, or pwedeng tandaan nyo rin yung ginawa nating derivation. So then you can just derive. So madali lang naman yung derivation. Again, pag sanay na kayo. Diba? So pero kung gusto nyo memoryahin na lang, so again, this is our direct formula. Okay? So any questions para dito sa part na to? Okay. R cosine theta. Okay. So again, so balik tayo dito, no? Okay? So again, so itong R cosine theta saka itong R sine theta. So makukuha niyo siya dito sa right triangle na to. Diba? So by definitions of the coordinate system. So again, polar coordinate system is based on R, distance from the origin, and theta, so angle with respect to the x-axis. So yung y natin, so is basically yung layo natin from the x-axis, kaya ito yung y. Diba? So then yung x naman is yung layo sa y-axis, kaya ito yung x. So kaya basically we have a right triangle, hypotenuse is r, angle theta, opposite side is y, adjacent side is x. Pag ginamitan nyo ng SOHCAHTOA, makukuha nyo itong dalawang equation na to. Diba? So then after nyan, derivative lang to. Diba? So again, differential lang, dx. Diba? So kaya magkakaroon tayo dito ng differentials na d theta saka dr. Okay? Nakuha ba? So ganun din yung gagawin nyo sa y. So again, so derivative lang. Okay? Nakuha ba? So, product rule lang yung ginamit ko dito, 'di ba? So, tapos nagkaroon lang siya ng d theta saka sa dr, so kasi wala tayong nilagay na over d something, 'di ba? So, kaya basically naging d theta saka dr lang yan. Okay? So, then we just divide yung na-solve natin na dy saka dx. Okay? So, tapos pinactor out ko lang yung d theta, 'di ba? So, tapos nung na-factor out natin yung d theta, so ito yung lumabas, cancel yung d theta. So, then yung dr d theta is just the derivative, diba? So of okay? So it's just the derivative nung given sa atin na r with respect to theta, diba? So kaya basically, diba? So ito yung lumabas sa atin na final form, diba? So ng slope, okay? So again, so option nyo, so you can memorize this if you want, diba? So or you can use a derivation, no? So in my case, na nagre-review ako dati, okay? So hindi ko to memorya yung equation, diba? So ang inaral ko is yung derivation. Okay? So kasi bihira din kasi yung mga polar curve sa board exam, 'di ba? So kumbaga siguro mga 1 or 2% lang yung lumalabas na polar curve. Total na 'yan, buong calculus, 'di ba? Kaysa ka analytic geometry, siguro mga 1 or 2% lang ng board exam. Okay? So kaya kung memoryahin mo lahat ng equations, 'di ba? So mababa lang naman yung chance na lumabas sa board exam. So parang hindi siya worth it, 'di ba? So pero kung alam niyo na m is dy dx, tas alam niyo to, kasi ito nagagamit din to sa analytic geometry. Diba? So, or SOHCAHTOA lang naman yan. So, kaya madali lang din tandaan. Kasi kailangan natin ng SOHCAHTOA sa trigonometry, diba? So, then, madali lang siya i-derive. Diba? So derivatives lang magiging problema nyo dito. Okay? Okay ba? So, pero nasa sa inyo yun. Diba? So kasi kung sanay naman na kayong gamitin to, marami kayong examples na natatry using this. So then, mamememorya nyo rin yun. Diba? So over time. Okay? Okay ba? So then, so let me rewrite this whole thing. No? Okay. So burahin ko na to. Sa akin ito yung nakuha natin na direct formula. So we have r prime. Okay, so this is r prime sine theta. So then this is plus. Okay, so we have r cosine theta, diba? So divided by. So this is r prime cosine theta. So minus r sine theta. Okay, so okay, so yun yung direct formula natin. No? So therefore, so let's apply here. So again, ang given sa atin na r so is equal to 1 over theta. Okay? So then at theta is equal to pi. So then this is simply r is equal to 1 over pi. So if we get r prime, so kasi kailangan natin ng r prime. So again, derivative lang nito. And kanina pinakita ko na sa inyo yung derivative ng 1 over x, diba? So again, the derivative of 1 over x with respect to x is negative 1 over x squared. So that's why, so this is simply negative 1 over theta squared, diba? So applying here, so theta is equal to pi, so this is negative 1 over pi squared. So therefore, yung slope natin will be r prime. That's negative 1 over theta squared. So negative 1 over pi squared. No? So then, so we have sine theta. So again, ang theta natin ay pi. Diba? So theta is equal to pi. So again, from this equation. So then plus r. So again, ang r natin ay 1 over pi. So then that's cosine of theta. So ang theta naman natin is pi. So then this is divided by, okay, so we have, okay, so r prime ulit. So negative 1 over pi squared. So this time cosine of theta naman. So cosine pi. So minus r is 1 over pi. So then this is sine of pi. Okay. So again, ano yung sine pi? Sine pi is 0. Okay. Yeah, this will be 0. Sine pi is 0. This will be 0. Cosine pi is negative 1. So this is negative 1. This is negative 1. Okay. So kaya magka-cancel din yan. Diba? So kaya matitira sa atin is equal to. So 1 over pi divided by negative 1 over pi squared. We can cancel yung isang pi. So then 1 over pi is pi. That was negative. Diba? So we have negative pi. So this is our slope. Okay. So this is negative pi. Okay. Okay. So any questions? Okay. So actually pag ginraph nyo yan, diba? Theta is equal to 0, so infinite yung r natin. And habang nag-i-increase yung theta natin, diba? So yung r natin decreases. Kaya basically parang spiral yan. Yung magiging graph nyo yan. Parang ganito. Okay? Okay ba? So yun yung magiging graph natin so far in this case. Diba? So then, okay? So yung pinapakuha sa atin na slope is a theta is equal to pi. So again, this is theta is equal to pi. So basically, so yung slope natin dito. So kasi hindi siya exactly straight. Okay? Okay ba? So pagdating sa part na ito. Pag theta is negative, so theta is negative naman, so will give us a negative r. So papunta dun sa kabila. So basically, dalawang spiral yung graph nito. So try nyo na lang sa mga online grapher. So, okay, so para makita nyo kung tama yung nasosolve natin na slope. No? Okay, so pero okay, so yun yung sagot natin. So we have negative 5. Okay, so any questions para dito? Okay. Siyempre, another solution dito is you can also change this, diba? So papunta sa rectangular curve kung gusto nyo, pero I think it will be a very complicated equation, no? So kasi para mailipat natin to sa rectangular curve, diba? So yung r is papalitan natin ng square root of x squared plus y squared. So again, galing din to doon sa right triangle kasi ganito yung right triangle natin, diba? So again, this is theta, this is y, this is x, this is r. Okay? So kaya yung r natin square root ng x squared plus y squared. Yung theta naman natin magiging r tan, diba? So ng y over x. Kaya very complicated yung equation, diba? So kaya it's better to use yung formula natin for polar curves. Okay? So any questions for this part? Okay, okay, so may tanong ba? Okay, so then move ako sa next problem. Okay. So for next problem, diba? So find K so that the line 4x minus y plus 3 is equal to 0 is tangent to the curve x squared minus y plus k is equal to 0. Diba? So yun naman yung solve natin dito. So actually ito ano lang to. Madali lang yung concept niya, diba? So although magiging pabalik-balik tayo dito sa dalawang curves na to. Okay? Naka ba? So okay, so yung tatandaan natin dito is again, okay? So ito yung isa sa mga tatandaan natin pagdating sa mga ganitong uri ng problem. Okay? So again, if this is our curve, diba? So ito yung curve natin. Okay? So ibig sabihin ito yung given, for example, by some equation y is equal to f of x, diba? Or some other types of equations. So pwede rin siyang f of xy is equal to 0, like this one. This is f of xy is equal to 0. Okay? Basta ganyan yung curve natin. So tawagin ko yun as curve C. Okay, so then this is our tangent line. So tawagin natin sa tangent line T, diba? Makikita natin so that we have a common point here, diba? So itong common point na to, yan yung tinatawag natin na point of tangency, no? So ito kasi yung pinaka-concept na kailangan natin dito, diba? So yung tatandaan natin na point of tangency, as you can see here, this is part of the tangent line. This is also part of the curve, diba? Kaya kung ano man tong point of tangency na to, let's say this is given by xy, dapat kaya niyang isatisfy yung tangent line, kaya niyang isatisfy yung curve. So meaning, pag sinubstitute natin yung x and y na to dun sa equation ng tangent line sa equation ng curve natin, we should satisfy the equations. Diba? Dapat hindi siya magkakaroon ng mistake. Diba? So dapat saktong-sakto lang siya dun sa equation natin. Okay? Pangalawa, diba, is yung slope ng tangent line natin and yung slope ng curve natin. So remember that the slope of the curve here, so slope ng curve is equal to dy dx, diba? So while yung slope ng tangent line natin, the slope of the tangent line is delta y delta x dun sa line natin, and that's also equal to the slope of the curve. So therefore, isa sa mga pwede pa natin makuha dito is pareho yung slope ng tangent line saka yung slope ng curve natin at a given point of tangency. So kaya ibig sabihin, so dapat yung dy dx na to, okay? Saka yung slope ng tangent line natin, so which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, if meron tayong other defined points dito, so dapat equal lang sila. Diba? Or other ways to solve for the slope of the tangent line. Okay? Naka ba? So ibig sabihin, so bukod dun sa point of tangency na dapat masatisfy ng dalawang curve, so nung line sa kanong curve natin, dapat masatisfy din natin na equal yung slope nila. Basta mga ganitong uri ng problem, yun lang yung consideration natin. So now, ang common mistake ng mga estudyante dito is pag nagbigay ng isang point sa problem, ina-assume kaagad nila na point of tangency yun, no? So again, that's not necessarily the case. Okay? Okay ba? So be attentive kayo dun sa grammar dun sa problem, diba? Pag sinabi sa problem na find the tangent line at this point, so then that's the point of tangency, diba? Pero pag sinabi na tangent line passing through this point, it's not necessarily na part siya ng curve. No? Okay? Kasi pag sinabi mo na tangent line passing through this point, wala namang sinabi na part na yung point na given is on the curve. Diba? So pwedeng nasa labas siya ng curve, dumadaan lang doon yung tangent line. So example, given ka ng curve, given ka ng isang point sa labas ng curve, so this is yung tangent line. So which is passing through that point. Diba? Okay? So kaya hindi siya necessarily point of tangency. Pero pag ang sabi is we have a given curve, pinapasolve sa atin yung tangent line at a given point. So ibig sabihin yung point na yon is nasa curve, diba? So then ito yung hinahanap na tangent line. Okay? Okay ba? So again, so we have those differences, no? Okay? So be attentive. Okay? So pero pag ganito, given ka na equation ng line sa equation ng curve, so ganito lang gagawin natin. So either compare the point of tangency or compare the slopes. So yun lang yung gagawin natin, no? Okay? So let's try here. Okay? So again, ang curve natin dito is given by the equation. So we have x squared minus y plus k is equal to 0. So and yung tangent line naman natin, so it's given by the equation 4x minus y plus 3 is equal to 0. No? Okay?
May kailangan ng bait-bait mo. Huwag mong gawin, tama ang kausap mo.
Okay? So again, so tangent line natin dito is 4x minus y, so then plus 3 is equal to 0. No? Okay? Okay ba? So then, diba? So let's try to solve this problem. So ano yung una natin pwedeng ma-solve dito, diba? So again, so remember, ang i-compare natin dito is either the slope or the point of tangency. Diba? So now, speaking of the point of tangency, hindi pa natin siya masosolve sa problem kasi makikita natin tatlo yung unknowns dito. Dalawa yung unknowns dito. So overall, tatlo yung unknowns natin, x, y, and k. But we only have two equations. So therefore, wala pa tayong masosolve na point of tangency. So ibig sabihin, we go to the slope. So pero pag sinolve natin yung slope natin dito, diba? So remember na, okay, so pagdating sa curve natin, so yung slope ng curve natin, okay, so it's just given by, so dy dx. So kaya para ma-solve natin to, so kailangan nating kunin yung derivative nito. So we can use implicit differentiation, but as you can see, madali lang natin ma-isolate si y. So therefore, so instead of using implicit differentiation here, so ang gagawin natin, isolate na lang muna natin si y, diba? So you will get y is simply equal to x squared plus k. Diba? Okay, so then by doing so then pwede na tayo mag-explicit differentiation dito. So remember, ito yung slope ng curve natin. So then this is simply equal to 2x. Okay, nakuha ba? So then for our tangent line naman, diba? So remember na yung slope ng tangent line natin is just the slope of the line. So ang pinakamadaling way pag given tayo ng equation ng line is to use the slope-intercept form. And in that case, kailangan lang nating isolate si y. So if we isolate y here, so you will get this is equal to negative 4x minus 3. So pag nagawa nyo na to, so then kung ano yung nakamultiply kay x, diba? Siya na yung magiging slope natin. So ito yung slope ni tangent line. No? So again, basta y yung nasa left-hand side natin. Tapos lipat natin yung iba sa right-hand side. So then yung nakamultiply kay x, yun ang slope ng tangent line. Diba? So therefore, since we know that the slope of the tangent line is equal to the slope of the curve, so you will get that negative 4 is equal to 2x. So ibig sabihin, this tangent line so will be a part of the curve if x is equal to negative 2. Okay? Nakuha ba? So ibig sabihin, ito yung isa sa mga coordinates ng point of tangency natin. Okay? Nakuha ba? So then, so dito sa dalawang equation natin, ano yung magbibigay sa atin ng isa pang value? Pag ginamit natin yung curve, okay, so then magkakaroon tayo ng dalawang variable na natitira. So therefore, wala tayong masosolve if we use the curve. So therefore, using the tangent line, diba? So dito sa using this equation, so again, so we get that y is equal to negative 4x minus 3. Negative, sorry, positive pala, no? Not negative. Sorry, nagkamali ako ng transpose dito. Okay? So this is positive. So kasi negative y, pag nilipat sa kabila, magiging positive y, diba? So kaya this should be positive 4. So yan yung slope natin. So meaning this is positive 4, this is positive 2. No? Okay? So again, this is 4x plus 3. So then by substitution, so palitan lang natin yung 4 ng 2 kasi na-solve natin x is equal to 2. So 4 times 2 plus 3. So then you get 11. So therefore, so at this point, yung y natin should be equal to 11. No? Okay, and remember that this is the point of tangency, diba? So this will give us a point P. Okay, so which is 211. So again, so ito yung point of tangency natin, diba? So point of tangency, diba? And gaya na sinabi ko kanina, yung point of tangency natin should be common sa tangent line natin saka sa curve. So therefore, it should satisfy the tangent line. So which is already the case kasi yun yung ginamit natin to solve for y. So and dapat masatisfy din natin si curve, diba? So therefore, from this equation, by substituting itong 2 na to as x, yung 11 natin as y, so then you will get 2 squared, so minus 11. So then plus k should be equal to 0. So then solving for k, so this is 11 minus 2 squared. So you will get k is equal to 7. So therefore, if k is equal to 7, so then this is one of the tangent lines. Okay, okay? So kaya again, pag mga ganitong problem, ay consider nyo lang as point of tangency should be the same, di ba, for the curve and the tangent line. So dapat pareho niya nasasatisfy yung equation. And pangalawa, equal yung slope. No? Okay? So alamin nyo lang kung ano yung una nyo magagamit. Yung point of tangency ba or yung slope. No? Okay? So any questions para dito? So again, so this is 7. Okay? So any questions for this part? Okay. So then, so let's move to number 12. Okay? So find the equation of the line tangent to the graph at the tangent point. So ito, diba? So yung term natin is at the tangent point. Kaya sabihin itong given na to, this is our point of tangency. So this is point of tangency, diba? So kahit hindi sinabi na tangent point, diba? Pag sinabing at the given point, di ba? So at the point, so then alam natin point of tangency yun. Pero pag sinabi lang na yung tangent line natin is passing through the point, di ba? So again, hindi siya necessarily point of tangency. Pwede siya maging point of tangency, pero pwede rin hindi siya point of tangency, no? So kaya kailangan nyo munang i-generalize, di ba? So in that cases, or in those cases, no? Okay? So let's try to solve this one, no? So again, kailangan lang natin ng equation ng tangent line, diba? And again, remember, to get the equation of a line, ano yung kailangan natin? Either we need 2 points, diba? So, or kailangan natin ng slope, diba? Saka isang given point, diba? So, yun yung mga kailangan natin so para makuha natin yung equation ng line, diba? So, in this case, meron na tayong isang point. Kasi alam natin, yung line natin, dumadaan din yan sa point of tangency. So, therefore, meron ka ng isang point, diba? So, ang problema na lang natin, diba? So, is yung slope, diba? Or another point, okay? Okay, so, pero dito, wala naman tayong ibang makukuhang other points sa tangent line, diba? So, kasi again, if this is the curve, this is your tangent line, diba? So, then, wala tayong way para makuha yung ibang points natin sa tangent line kasi wala namang given sa problem. So, therefore, so, ang possibility na lang natin is slope kasi alam naman natin yung slope ng tangent line is equal to the slope of the curve. So, and the slope of the curve is given by dy dx. So kaya kailangan lang natin i-solve yung dy dx dito, diba? So we have x plus y, so this quantity raised to the third power. So then this is equal to x plus y, so then plus 6. Okay? So again, we can use implicit differentiation in this case. Pwede rin kayo mag-partial derivative. So pero I think halos pareho lang mangyayari. So partial derivative na lang gamitin natin. So mukhang mas madaling gamitin yung partial derivative dito, diba? Okay, so again, ang gagawin lang natin is i-separate lang natin yung variable, so from the constant. So this is minus x minus y. So then this is equal to 6, diba? So then we can let that as our u. Diba? So again, so that is our x plus y cubed minus x minus y. So again, this is equal to some constant 6, no? So again, partial ni u, so with respect to x, so is given by, so again, dito ililet natin yung y as constant. So we have 3, so times x plus y quantity squared. Okay? So then, multiplied by, so derivative nung nasa loob ay simply 1. Diba? Minus, derivative ng x is 1, derivative ng y ay 0, kasi ililet natin yung y as 0, ililet natin yung y as constant. Diba? Okay? So then, so yung partial naman ni u, so with respect to y, so this is given by, so again 3, so times x plus y, so this quantity squared. So then derivative nito, so again dito x naman yung constant. So derivative ng x ay 0, derivative ng y is 1. So kaya 1 matitira dito. So then derivative ng x ay 0, derivative ng y is 1. So kaya minus 1. Diba? So therefore, so what will be the slope? Okay. So again, slope, ang direct formula natin using partial derivative. Diba? So is yung dy dx. Diba? So again, using partial derivative, this is negative partial ni u with respect to x. Diba? Divided by partial ni u with respect to y. Okay? So then this will be negative. Okay, so we have 3 times x plus y squared. Okay, so minus 1. So divided by 3 times x plus y squared minus 1. So this is simply equal to negative 1. Okay? So which is interesting. Diba? So kung isipin natin. Diba? So bakit siya interesting? So kasi constant yung slope. No? Wala tayong sinubstitute na point. Diba? So pero constant yung slope. Kung constant yung slope mo, anong uri ka ng curve? You are a tangent line. Diba? So, you are a line, sorry. Okay, so kaya ibig sabihin, itong equation na to is actually a line. Okay, nakabar? So try nyo sa mga grapher, diba? Sa mga online grapher. Input nyo to, makikita nyo isang straight line lang yan. Diba? So actually, pag sinimplify nyo to, diba? If you try to simplify this, okay? So this equation, magiging lang siyang linear equation. No? So pero hindi mo kasi siya makikita basta-basta. Okay, nakabar? So meron pa kayo dyan gagawing steps. Okay, so para mapalabas nyo yung ano natin, yung linear equation. So hindi ako nagkakamali, parang ganito yung mangyayari dyan. Okay? So magsusubtract ako ng 8 dito. So tapos dito magiging siyang x plus y plus 6 minus 8. So then by factoring this, so this will be x plus y minus 2. So then this will be x plus y squared. No? So then plus 4, so x plus y. So then plus 2 ata. Okay, so this is plus 2, x plus y, so then this is plus 2. And then plus 4. This is plus 4. Okay, so then this will be, so x plus y minus 2. This is equal. This is equal to x plus y minus 2. No? Okay? So nire-arrange natin to, diba? So magkakaroon tayo dito ng dalawang equation. Yung isang equation natin is x plus y minus 2 is equal to 0. And the other equation will be x plus y squared plus 2x plus y plus 4. No? So then minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay? And as you can see, so one equation representing this one is a linear equation. Okay? So, pero anyway, diba? So, again, so labas na yan dun sa topic natin. Okay? So, medyo interesting lang siya kasi kahit na ganyan yung form niya, so hindi siya mukhang line, so pero linear equation pala siya. Diba? Okay? So then, so let's calculate. So again, so the equation of the line. So since meron tayong given na point, meron tayong given na slope, so we can use the point slope form. Okay? Point slope form. So again, ito ay sa pag-form ng linear equation. So point slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So yung x1 saka y1 is the point, yung m is the slope. So ito yung gagamitin nating slope, ito yung gagamitin nating x1, ito yung gagamitin nating y1. Okay. So then, so you will get y minus negative 1. So this is equal to, so we have negative 1, so times x minus 3. Diba? So rearranging this, you will get positive x plus y. So will be equal to, so we have, this is positive 3 minus 1, so this is equal to 2. So therefore, we have x plus y is equal to 2. Okay? So again, that's by using partial derivative. No? So pwede rin naman kayo ditong gumamit ng implicit differentiation natin. So pag yun yung ginamit nyo, so we get the derivative with respect to x. So ng x plus y cubed. Okay? So then this is equal to the derivative with respect to x. So ng x plus y plus 6. No? So if we do this, so this will be 3 times x plus y squared. Derivative nung nasa loob, so it's simply 1 plus y prime. Okay? So then derivative ng x ay 1, derivative ng y is y prime, derivative ng 6 ay 0. Diba? So then, so at the given point, so yung point of tangency natin, so that's 3 negative 1. Diba? So ito yung x, ito yung y, so substitute lang natin, so 3 times 3 plus negative 1. Okay? So this quantity squared multiplied by 1 plus y prime. So this is equal to 1 plus y prime. No? So we have 3 plus negative 1 is 2. So then 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Times 1 is 12. Times y prime is 12 y prime. So this is equal to 1 plus y prime. Diba? So then, so 12 y prime minus y prime is 11 y prime. So then 1 minus 12 is negative 11. So therefore y prime is equal to negative 1. So as you can see, pareho lang yung masasolve natin na slope. Diba? So yung y prime kasi yun yung slope natin. Okay? So any questions? Diba? So para dito. Okay. So again, so yan yung solution natin. Okay? So hindi ko na itutuloy dito. So kasi after nito, so ganito rin yung gagawin natin. Point slope form. So hindi ko na uulitin tong part na to. Okay? So pinakita ko lang yung dalawang way natin to solve for the slope in this problem. Okay? Okay, so then, so let's proceed to next part natin, so which is maxima minima, no? Sa maxima minima, so again, so ang i-discuss lang natin is yung single variable maxima minima. Kasi yun lang naman yung mga madalas lumalabas sa board exam. So again, pag naka-encounter kayo ng two variable or multi-variable maxima minima, so kung marunong kayong gumamit ng Lagrange multiplier, no? So I recommend that, no? So kasi mas madali siyang gamitin actually compared dun sa first derivative test sa second derivative test sa two or more variables. Okay, naka-back? Or at least in some cases, diba? So doon sa mga mas mga complicated na equations. Kasi medyo mahirap siyang i-solve, kayo naka-ba? So pag pag hindi naman siya mahirap sa derivative part. Yung mahirap is yung pagsisimplify. So tapos nagkakaroon kayo ng 2 equations, 2 unknowns, tapos hindi pa siya linear. So kaya medyo mahirap siyang i-solve. No? Okay? So kaya pagdating sa multivariable maxima minima, so try to memorize the equations, diba? So pag may mga na-encounter kayo, no? So ano ba mga example ng mga multivariable calculus natin na maxima minima? Okay? So one example is maximum volume, diba? So ng rectangular prism na pwede nating i-inscribe sa isang ellipsoid, diba? May direct formula 'yon. So then pero pag gusto niyo i-derive, the derivation is a multivariable maxima minima, no? Okay? So then yung isa pang example natin is yung isang plate, diba? Okay? For example, you have a plate tapos i-turn up natin yung kanyang sides such that this one, diba? So forming a trapezoidal trough, diba? Or trapezoidal trough, diba? So we can form this one. So then i-maximize itong area na to. Okay? Kasi dalawa yung variable natin diyan, diba? So itong length na to saka yung angle. Okay? Tama ba? So kaya multivariable din yung lalabas yun. So any questions for this part? No? So pero again, so ang ifo-focus natin sa in-house review natin is the single variable maxima minima. No? So actually yun din lang yung tinuturo namin sa review. So kasi bihira naman lumabas yung multivariable maxima minima. Kung meron mang lumabas, meron ng direct formula. No? So usually na ituturo naman namin siya during refresher saka yung coaching part. Okay? So discuss natin yung maxima minima, no? Okay? So again, sa maxima minima, so ang gagamitin lang natin dito is the first derivative test. Okay? Okay ba? So we have the first derivative test. Okay? Okay ba? So actually, portion lang ng first derivative test yung gagamitin natin. Okay? Okay ba? Pagdating sa pagsosolve ng maxima minima. So ano ba yung concept natin dito? If you're given a curve, for example, we have this curve here. Okay? Okay ba? So then makikita natin na yung maximum point niya is this point. Diba? So and pagdating sa point na to, so you can compare, so yung nangyayari doon sa slope natin. So as you can see, so dito sa part na to, ito yung tangent line natin. So then we have this tangent line. So then tangent line na to, diba? So as you can see, yung habang lumalapit tayo doon sa maximum point, diba? So yung slope natin, diba? So is becoming less steeper. Diba? Okay, so pa-flatten siya ng pa-flatten. So kaya you can imagine na pagdating natin sa pinakatuktok na to, so flat yung ating or horizontal yung ating tangent line. Kaya ibig sabihin nito yung slope natin sa maximum point is equal to 0. So kaya yung first derivative test natin, so ang ginagawa natin dyan is we get the derivative of f, diba? So let's say we are given a function. Okay? So let's say you are given some function y. So let y is equal to f of x. So basically what we do is we get y prime or we get dy dx, diba? Or yung f prime of x. Okay? So then i-equate natin sa 0, diba? So again, so that will give us diba? So yung maximum point natin, diba? So yung tinatawag natin as the relative maximum, diba? Yung masosolve natin na value ng x dito, yun yung tinatawag nating critical number. Tapos yung point na magre-represent sa critical number natin, that's the critical point, diba? So, kailangan nyo lang i-solve yung x and y pag critical point yung pinag-uusapan natin. Okay? Nakuha ba? So yung isa pang possibility natin is pag for example, ganito yung curve natin. No? Okay? So, pag ganito yung curve natin, diba? So then, we can say that this is our maximum point. But as you can see sa point na yan, diba? So, makikita natin na pagdating sa left-hand side natin, okay? So, ito yung slope natin dyan. Diba? So, this will be our slope. Okay? Nakuha ba? Sa right-hand side naman, ito yung ina-approach na slope natin. Okay? So, kaya makikita natin dito, diba? So, na pagdating doon sa mismong point natin, diba? Okay? So, again, pagdating doon sa mismong point natin, diba? So, makikita natin na yung tangent line natin, so hindi sila nagmamatch. Diba? So in this case, sinasabi natin that the tangent line or the slope of the tangent line, diba? So, or the derivative does not exist. Diba? So kasi nga hindi sila nagmamatch. Okay? So parang sa limits, diba? So pag dalawa yung ina-approach ng line natin, okay, so then we can say that the limit does not exist. Diba? So kasi dalawang magkaibang value yung ina-approach mula sa kanan saka mula sa kaliwa. Diba? Pwede natin i-define yung slope, diba, doon sa kanan, tapos slope doon sa kaliwa, pero so again, doon sa mismong point natin, so again, it does not exist. Diba? So therefore, another way, diba, so para makuha natin yung first derivative test natin, diba, or para makuha natin yung maxima minima, is we can say that yung dy dx natin, diba, so s actually does not exist. Okay, nakuha ba? So pag yung dy dx natin, okay, so then, or yung f prime of x natin, so is does not exist, diba? So then these are possible, okay, so maxima minima, no? So kaya tinatawag natin sila as critical number or critical points, diba? So kasi hindi pa tayo sigurado kung maximum sila or minimum, diba? So remember na pag ganito yung curve natin, diba? So let's say we have this curve. So at this point, so yung slope natin dito is also equal to 0. Okay? So pero makikita natin so na hindi siya maximum, hindi rin siya minimum, diba? So kaya hindi rin natin masasabi na pag yung first derivative mo ay 0, automatic na maximum or minimum na siya. Kaya test pa lang to, diba? So, okay, so after nito, kailangan pa nating malaman kung siya ay isang actual maximum or actual minimum. Diba? Paano natin siya malalaman? Sa slope. Diba? So makikita natin dito, so sa maximum, diba? So habang umaakyat yung tangent line natin, so paliit ng paliit yung slope. So therefore, so yung f prime of x natin is decreasing. Okay? So then sa kanan naman, diba? So makikita natin na so habang bumababa siya dito, palaki naman ng palaki yung slope natin. Diba? So papunta sa negative. Diba? So kaya dito from a high positive to 0, papunta sa high negative. So therefore, so yung slope natin is decreasing. Okay? Nakuha ba? So ibig sabihin around the critical number, diba? So if, okay, so yung f prime of x natin, so where yung x natin is a critical number, diba? So is less than 0. Okay? Nakuha ba? Or decreasing pala, so not less than 0. So this is decreasing. Okay? So ang ibig sabihin nito, so this is a maximum. Okay? Okay ba? So pero pag minimum, so you can imagine ganito yung minimum point natin, diba? So then, so again from a high negative, so pababa yan ng pababa until pumunta siya sa 0. So then pataas yun ng pataas so papunta sa high positive. Kaya high negative to 0 to high positive. So yung slope naman natin is increasing, diba? So kaya pag yung f prime of x natin, so ito yung critical number, so is increasing. Okay, so around the critical number pala to, so not the critical number itself, no? So kasi yun yung tinitignan natin, so itong range na to. Diba? So again, is increasing, so ibig sabihin, so this is a minimum. Okay? Otherwise, diba? Kung hindi siya increasing nor decreasing, so as you can see here, dito decreasing to. So pagdating dito, increasing siya. Diba? So kaya ibig sabihin, so that is indeterminate. No? So hindi natin alam kung siya ay maximum or minimum. So basically, para siyang saddle point. Diba? Okay? Nakuha ba? So and again, so remember that this, itong decreasing saka increasing, pwede natin siyang ma-measure, diba? So using that, so, pwede natin siyang ma-measure as a rate. Diba? So if your rate is decreasing, diba? So ibig sabihin, so yung rate mo is negative. So pag yung value mo is increasing, yung rate mo is positive. Diba? So basically, parang pwede mo isipin na speed. Diba? So if your speed is increasing, so you have positive acceleration. Diba? If your speed is decreasing, so then you have a negative acceleration. Okay? So yun lang yung basic idea. Diba? So therefore, ano ba yung rate ng f prime of x? Yung rate ng f prime of x is simply the second derivative. So therefore, we have the second derivative test. So pero yung second derivative test is ginagamit lang natin to determine kung siya ba ay magiging maximum or minimum. So usually sa board exam, hindi na natin kailangan to. Kasi nasa question na kung ano yung solve natin. So sinasabi sa question, what is the maximum ganito? Diba? Or what is the minimum ganito? Diba? Or what is the most economic price? Diba? So, or something. Diba? So kaya meron na tayong idea kung maximum or minimum yung isa-solve natin. And pag nagkataon na isa lang yun na lumalabas na solution sa problem, diba? So then ibig sabihin yun na yung tamang sagot. Diba? So no need for second derivative test. So pero you can also check, diba? So para at least sigurado talaga tayo na tama yung sagot natin, no? So second derivative test, if f prime of x, diba? So is so again, so this is the critical number. Isa-substitute lang natin dyan, no? So pag decreasing, so that should be negative, diba? So therefore, if this is less than 0, so then we have a relative maximum, no? Okay? So pag yung f prime prime of x naman natin, so where this is the critical number is greater than 0, so then we have a relative minimum. Okay? So pag naman yung f prime prime of x natin is equal to 0, diba? So then ibig sabihin nito, so this cannot be determined, diba? So indeterminate in this case. So pag indeterminate, babalik tayo dito sa condition na to, diba? So kailangan nating i-check visually kung ano nangyayari sa slope or mathematically. Diba? So pero again, so we will try so several values, diba? So of x para makita natin ano yung nangyayari dun sa slope, diba? So habang papalapit dun sa critical number natin. Okay? Then ito naman yung tinatawag natin na inflection point, diba? So yung point natin kung saan nagsi-zero yung second derivative natin. So again, so that is what we call the inflection point, diba? Sa inflection point nagkakaroon tayo ng change ng curvature. So for example dito, ito yung curvature natin, diba? So nakaturo dito. Pero pagdating dito, nalipat dito yung inflection natin. No? So again, ito yung tinatawag nating inflection point. Okay, nakuha ba? Nagkakaroon tayo ng change ng orientation ng curvature. No? Okay, so any questions para dito? So again, pag nag-zero yung first derivative natin or does not exist, so again, yan yung tinatawag na, yung masosolve yun na value ng x dito, yan yung tinatawag natin na critical number. Kaya pag sinabing critical number or critical point, first derivative test yan. No? Yung pag second derivative naman natin yung nag-equal sa 0, that's the inflection point. Or if the second derivative does not exist, that's the inflection point. Kaya pag yun naman yung tinatanong sa problem, second derivative test yung gagawin niya. No? And pag maxima minima, so again, just use the first derivative test. No? Okay? So let's try some examples. No? Okay. Okay, so a statue, so we have 3 meters high. Okay, so it's standing, diba? So on a base of 4 meters high. So if an observer's eye is 1.5 meter above the ground, so how far should they stand from the base in order that the angle subtended by the statue is a maximum? So again, so as an example, diba? Nakalagay dito, so we have maximum. Diba? Kaya alam natin, maximum yung hinahanap natin. Kaya pag meron tayo na-solve dito, especially kung isa lang yung nasa-solve natin na sagot, diba? So then, automatically maximum na yan. Diba? Okay? So paano ba yung problem na to? Okay, so we have a statue. Diba? So let's say ito yung statue natin. Okay? So then we have a base. So ito, let's say ito yung base natin. Okay? So again, so this is 3 meters high. So 3 meters high, no? So then 4 meters naman yung kanyang base, diba? So then this base is 4 meters high. So this is 4 meters. Okay, okay ba? So then we have an observer. So again, so yung base natin, so assume natin na nandiyan din yung observer natin. So dun sa pinaka kung saan nakapatong yung base ng statue natin, diba? So then so ito yung observer natin, diba? So we have this observer. Okay? So then yung observer's eye daw natin is 1.5 meter above the ground. So let's say ito yung eye ng observer. Diba? So then this is 1.5 meter above the ground. So this is 1.5 meters. Okay? Okay ba? So then ang gusto natin i-maximize is yung angle subtended by the statue. Diba? So pag sinabi natin subtended angle, so ang gagawin nyo lang is from the point of observation, so yung mata ng observer, so i-connect nyo lang siya dun sa lower base, the base ng statue, that will be this one, and the upper base. Okay. So the upper base of the statue, the base, that will be this one. Okay? Okay, so then this is our subtended angle. So ito yung ating theta, yan yung gusto nating i-maximize na base para sa problem na to. Okay? So to do that, we will consider so 2 triangles, diba, for this problem. So this is the first triangle na i-consider natin. Okay? So as you can see, this is a right triangle. So then, so makikita natin, so from the figure that if we measure this distance here, diba? So that's 4 meters minus 1.5. So this is 2.5 meters. Diba? So then we can also see, diba? So na yung layo nito, diba? So itong base ng triangle natin, so will be the distance from the observer papunta dun sa statue natin. So since ito yung independent variable natin, so how far, yun yung hinahanap natin sa problem, so tawagin ko yan as x. No? So and let's say that the angle subtended by this triangle is given by alpha. So therefore we can use SOHCAHTOA here, diba? So we will get tangent of alpha. Okay, so you will get tangent of alpha. So then this is just equal to the opposite side, that's 2.5 meters, divided by, so that adjacent side that is given by x. Diba? So again, so this will be our tangent of alpha. Diba? So then alpha, so will just be equal to, so arctan, so of 2.5 meters divided by x. Diba? Or gawin ko na lang 2.5 over x. Okay? So since hindi ko na sinama dito yung unit natin, so ibig sabihin yung x natin should be in meters. No? Okay. So this should be in meters. So para mag-cancel yung unit natin. Diba? Okay, so again, so this is divided by x. Okay, okay? So now let's consider a second triangle. No? So ito naman yung gagamitin kong triangle. So we have, this is the hypotenuse. So then we have, this is one of the sides, diba? So then this is the other side. Okay? So then let's say yung angle subtended naman dito, this angle here. So tawagin naman natin to as beta. So tawagin naman natin itong angle na to as beta, diba? So basically itong buong to, diba? So yun yung beta natin, diba? Okay? So then, so makikita naman natin dito from the figure, so yung side natin mula dito hanggang dito, diba? Okay, so we have this length. Okay, so that will be 3 meters plus 4 meters, that's 7 meters minus 1.5 meter, that's 5.5 meters. Okay, nakuha ba? So kaya ibig sabihin, diba? So if we use SOHCAHTOA again, tangent of beta is the opposite side, that's 5.5 meters divided by x. Okay, nakuha ba? So kasi yung base natin dito equal din sa x. Diba? So ayun yung lalabas. So therefore beta is therefore equal to arctan, diba? So of 5.5 divided by x. So since we already defined yung x natin to be in meters, diba? So then pwedeng tanggalin na natin yung unit dito. Diba? So automatically yung x natin will be in meters. Diba? And base dun sa figure natin, diba? So saan equal si theta? Theta is simply equal to beta minus alpha. Diba? So our theta is equal to arctan. Diba? So of, okay, so we have 5.5 over x. Okay, so then this is minus, so we have arctan. Diba? So now 2.5 over x. Okay? Naka ba? Diba? So therefore, since we want to maximize yung theta, so then we will use the first derivative test. Diba? So using first derivative test, diba? So then, since the independent variable is x, we get d theta dx. Diba? So again, ano ang derivative ng arctan? So 1 over 1 plus, yung nasa loob niya, squared. Diba? So kaya this will be 1 over, so 1 plus, so yung nasa loob niya, so that's 5.5 over x. So this quantity squared. Diba? Okay? So tapos, since hindi to isang variable lang, okay, so hindi lang to x, diba? So then by chain rule, we need to multiply this by the derivative of this. 5.5 is constant, so we can factor that out. Then yung derivative ng 1 over x is negative 1 over x squared. Diba? So meron na tayong isa. Diba? Sa pangalawa, so we have minus, so ganun ulit, 1 over, okay, so 1 plus. So this time, so 2.5 over x naman to. So this quantity squared, so then multiply this by, so we can factor out 2.5 this time, so then multiply this by negative 1 over x squared. Diba? Okay, tama ba? And again, using the first derivative test, this should be equal to 0. Diba? So then we need to find the value of x such that the